everybody, and welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom, baby. Let's go, Clark.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Season 3, Adam, of Row 60.
3 seasons, 3 national championships. That's the goal. Ooh. That's where we're going to be coming from. Hey, when early January is celebrating a 3rd national championship during a 3rd season of Row 60. Let's get it cranked up, Clark.
Wouldn't it be nice?
It is time. I'm so excited about this day to get back here at this desk, Clark, and record another episode with you, man. Been looking forward to it for a long time, and it's time to get back in the saddle and get fired up about some Georgia football, baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can smell it in the air, Adam. Fall
yes, sir, you can.
Is near. We're ending summer here pretty soon. And honestly, Adam, I think we're in the same boat. We don't really care for summer all that much.
Yeah, we've talked about it. This time of year.
It's cool.
Yeah, this time of year, you know, we say the same things about what we feel about July this time of year. I mean, we love America.
Oh, yeah.
We love that we just celebrated the birthday of America, and I hope everybody had a great July 4th and had a good time, family and friends, cooked a hot dog or two, and, you know, just really celebrated America and what it stands for and the freedom that we have to watch college football, to enjoy college football. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of hot, humid Georgia summer days, man.
It's awful.
I just get out there and it's just tough out there. It's tough out there, and you know you're trying to catch your breath, so I'm just breathing heavy as I walk and just trying to, you know, I mean, it's probably an amusing sight for people who are watching me walk, just trying to gasp for air,
right?
Because it's just the humidity just gets the best. So the heat's okay, but the humidity down here in Georgia is just it's just different. It's just different. So, you know, I know we were blessed during June, had a very just mild June, I feel like, Clark. Hey, we got a lot of rain this summer. That's been a good thing. Got a lot of rain this summer. The fescue's still been growing and everything. So it's just good. That's good. That's good. Grass.
Okay.
Grass is, been grass. So it's been good. Been good. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Adam, what have you been up to this summer? Have you had a big summer? Any big plans upcoming? Or?
No, not really. I went to Pigeon Forge for one night. Yeah. That was good. And then I've cut a lot of hay, baled a lot of hay, and done a few welding fab projects. And outside of just regular work, and then just a good family lifetime with my sweet daughter, man. It's been good. Been blessed.
And it's exciting. Crazy how big she's gotten, Callie Ann. I mean, my gosh, it was about this time last year, roughly. When we were welcoming her into the world.
That's right,
man.
Wow.
It's kind of come full circle.
Yeah. You know, I remember when we were doing the preseason show starting season 2 up, I was getting nervous because I was about to become a father. You know, I was anticipating how I was going to be as a dad and getting really juiced about that. Now she's 10 months old, and everything's been great. The good Lord's blessed us there, man. I'm excited to have football season with her this year, and it's going to be good. But how about you, Clark? What about your off-season summer? How's it been?
It's good, Adam. A lot of work. I've been really busy so far, which is a good thing. We need to be busy.
We do need to get busy.
Because here's the thing, Adam. In my line of work, because I am my own boss, I can set my own schedule. So
good point.
What I try to do is, you know, winter to the beginning of fall, I try to get all my work accomplished. Right. I try to earn my keep and really work hard, and then that way in the fall I could, you know, dial it back a little bit. And enjoy football season, right?
Which is understandable. Yeah. I mean, that's what you should be doing. Priorities.
Exactly.
Priorities. I mean, you know, who needs to go make a buck when there's football to be seen and watched?
Adam.
So,
yes.
And I like that, Clark. But that is good. I'm glad to hear that your business is just off and running, doing good, man. That's exciting, and that's good stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff.
My wife and I, Caitlin, went to Hawaii as well. And
Hawaii.
Adam, I got to tell you something, and it sounds bizarre, and you may wow at this.
Yeah.
I could honestly live in Hawaii and skip a Georgia football season.
Clark!
I could. Now, somebody would have to pay my way out there. No!
It's expensive. That is awful.
Look, I would go. Listen.
You want to go to Hawaii and get sunburned and wear lays around and flowery shirts and do that? Why would you want to do that? That sounds awful. That's where we differ. That's where we differ.
Well, hold on. I will say, I would still watch every single game with the same passion and energy as if I were at the game. You just would
be doing it with a coconut, with the umbrella on the beach somewhere,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm weird. I'm weird. People enjoy that. People like that. I'm like, nah, man. Nah.
Oh, man.
Nah. My if you had to watch a Georgia football game from home, you know, you think about this, that would be kind of your ideal scenario where you would want to be.
Yeah.
Where you would want to be.
And I wouldn't want to, like, I know a lot of people, they like to go to a bar or like to go to a restaurant or even like a social gathering. When I watch a football game at home, if I'm not at the game, I want to be with very, very few people, and every single person in the area needs to be dialed in on the game.
Yeah,
you know
so all the Hawaiians and the natives will be dialed in on the Georgia football game.
They're either
all the visitors, all the people there in Hawaii are going to be dialed in on Georgia football at the little beach, little tiki hut you're going to be at. You're going to sit there and just,
and for every touchdown,
Lays and everything.
For every
touchdown. Is that what they're called, Lays?
Lays, yeah.
Lays, yeah.
L-E-I-S.
Lays. Yeah, sitting there, man, singing Kliniki Maka or whatever it is, I don't know, just whatever they do over there. That's cool. Yeah. So that would be your prime spot then, right there
for a year. Okay,
for a year.
Let me clarify. And it couldn't be this year because I want to see the Dogs three-peat.
Okay,
but any other year, I might.
This is an interesting development. I've not heard this. Yeah. It must have done a number on you. Over there in Hawaii,
it was awesome.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think I'll make it over there. I hate to say it, but I just don't have a desire to go to Hawaii.
Well, Adam, you need to go to Hawaii. You need to go check out the Rainbow Warriors Stadium, Hawaii University Stadium,
home of the Fighting Timmy Chains.
Exactly,
the worst team in Division I college football.
Yeah. Yep. But it was a sight.
Well, good. So. I'm glad y'all enjoyed that, man. That's exciting. I know it was a big celebratory trip for your wife, Caitlin.
Yep.
And that's good. I'm glad y'all were able to do that.
Yeah.
And have a good time.
Yeah.
Have a good time. I hope you got a good flowery shirt when you were there.
I wore one. Yeah, I did.
Good.
I did.
Good.
So
like
lots of fun.
Good.
Yeah. Hey. Let's get back to you guys.
All right, yeah.
If you're just now joining us on Row 60, we want to welcome you. We want to say thank you for joining us today. Yeah. This is cool. And to all
it's a wild ride.
Yes, it is. Welcome. To all of our friends of the show that have been here from, season 1, season 2, we want to say welcome back. It's going to be a great season of Georgia football and of Row 60. And we are just now kicking off, as Adam mentioned earlier, this is the start of season 3. Three. God, I can't believe we've already
done 3, man.
2 seasons.
Back to back, baby.
Yep.
Going to be the first team, Clark, since the 1930s, since the traditional AP poll began in the year 1940, Clark. 1940 is when the AP poll began.
Yeah.
And since 1940, Clark, there has not been a single collegiate football team that has won back-to-back national champions. That's what the University of Georgia Bulldogs have looking forward this season, man, to come and do is to get that three-peat and to go down in history and shoot company that's just not there. Because, you really need to count. I think I count college football history in 1940, like when the AP poll started.
Sure.
I think, So, sorry for all the Notre Dame and Army fans who count, and Georgia Tech fans who count like the 20s and when they essentially played football with a basketball,
right?
And could throw a forward pass 3 yards. Right. So that kind of deal, I don't count. That was some rough games played then. That was good stuff, and I'm glad because those were the ground roots, Clark. Right. That was the foundation to what we have
and
now.
We thank those people.
Right.
Except for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we thank those people. But 1940 is when it started, so that is uncharted waters. Nobody has gone there, Clark, and Georgia's selling their vessel and going there.
We're going there.
Yep.
And when we get there, we're going to burn the boats.
We're going to burn the boats.
I thought we already burned the boats, but I guess we're still sailing on boats.
Burn them again.
Oh, man. All right, Adam, let me ask you this. Who was that team that won back-to-back?
I shouldn't have talked about a vessel going to uncharted waters. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going. Keep going. Okay. Let's go. Let's roll on with it.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, anyway.
It's okay. Go.
No, I was asking you though, what team won back-to-back championships?
Minnesota, the Golden Gophers.
Really?
The Golden Gophers up in Minnesota, man. Yeah, they went up there, and I think just too many teams came up there and couldn't play in the snow. Couldn't take the ice in the snow and couldn't win football games up there, man. So yeah, Minnesota, I think it was the mid-30s.
Okay.
So,
wow, that's some trivia for you.
Yeah, it is. So fun fact, everybody tailgate trivia say who was the only team in history to win back-to-back national champions, three-peat, the Minnesota Gophers, man.
There you go.
Gophers, freaking Gophers. How about that?
I didn't even know they had a national championship in their trophy case.
They do. They went on a run.
Well, it's been an interesting offseason, Adam. It really has. And I want to ask you this. What happened?
Coffee in my eye.
You got coffee in your eye?
I got a piping hot caffeinated beverage in my eye.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, let's show the people what's happening here. Adam is missing the lid, too.
Yeah, I just wanted to live dangerously.
Right.
Drink it out. But anyway, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Well, it has been an interesting offseason, Adam, and I want to ask you a little bit about the differences between this offseason, right? Coming off back-to-back championships, and last season, right? Talk about a little bit about the expectations for this year as opposed to where we were last year, and kind of the feeling between the two.
I'll speak to how I feel about it, because I've tried to monitor the pulse closely. Coming off of the last year, we were like, man, just think, we got it. We won the national championship. Hoping we'd win it again in 2022, but kind of thinking, hey, we're not going to get too selfish, Clark. Right. So we're going to have a great football team, win some football games, man. But all you heard last summer, Clark, Alabama, Bryce Young, this, Ohio State, C.J. Stroud, this. It was just everybody thought there was just two teams in the nation that could win a national championship last year, and that's all you heard last summer was Ohio State and Alabama, or Alabama, Ohio State. It was like it was destined that was going to be the matchup in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. It was going to be those two, and obviously we know how it turned out. So, and I was kind of thinking, yeah, it's going to be tough to repeat. A lot of teams haven't done that, and it's something that I didn't really. I was thinking, hey, we could do it, and just talk myself more and more into it, and then heck, 15-0, just like that, perfection. So, fast forward to this year, there's no Georgia doubt. There's no Georgia doubt. The consensus of what I hear people talk about and all these off-season college football shows I've listened to is Georgia won a national championship, Clark, in their rebuilding year. In their rebuilding year, Clark. And that's scary. That's scary to think, man. That's scary to think they're talking about. Georgia won a national championship in their rebuilding year. There was a piece done, but I can't remember. I think it was a writer on CBS about how scary it is that Georgia won a national championship in their rebuilding year. Let me say it again to the people who did not hear me in the back of the room. Georgia won a national championship in their rebuilding year.
That's amazing. I mean, really, it really is.
Yes, it absolutely is, Clark. So you hear that and you get, Georgia's just not going to get beat. Georgia, and it just makes me sick to my stomach.
I know.
I think about it. I'm like, do not say that. Do not say that. Tell them we're going 7-5. Don't say that. I've never, as a Georgia fan, there's been some expectations before going into a season, but none of like they're untouchable, they're unbeatable. Nobody in the East has a chance to win the division, which we all know. Anything can happen between the white lines and those 100 yards, Clark.
And that's the beauty of this game.
That's why we love it. That's why we're doing a podcast. And that's why we fell in love with it with a young age. But it's weird because we've never heard Georgia get to this level, and we have never heard of and could really imagine and comprehend the University of Georgia football program getting to a point where it just seems like that it is a train coming down the tracks that isn't going to get stopped. You look at their, probably going to have, if everything holds together next year, the best recruiting class, not just Kirby Smart's ever had at Georgia, right? Not the best recruiting class that Georgia's ever had in history. Not the best recruiting class that the SEC's ever seen. The best one college football has ever seen, Clark. Coming off back-to-back national championships, man. Potentially, it will be. If it finishes like they say it could finish, Clark, it will be the very best one on paper right now at this point in time. So all the signs are pointing towards it's not slowing down. So you know what? What's happening with that, Clark?
What's that?
People are getting nervous about it. People don't want to see it. People do not want to see another dynasty like what Alabama did from 2009 to 2020, Clark, emerge again, and something that looks to be brewing that could be even stronger. A beast that could be fed even more and could be even stronger, Clark. I mean, that's going to be hard to replicate what was done. We've talked about that during that time, but another huge dynasty brewing, and people are going to do whatever they can to stop it, Clark. Media, anything, whatever, negative recruiting on the trail, whatever can be done, they're going to try to stop it because they see it building. Anybody with common sense can see what's happening in Athens or what has already happened. And they hate Georgia. There was already a hatred that you could feel as a Georgia fan for years. But everybody's, 1980, they hadn't won the big game, all this stuff. Now you win 2 national championships in a row. They're not slowing down. They hate you even more. They hate you even more, and they absolutely cannot stand the level of success for Georgia. So what you're going to see as a Georgia fan now, people, is people – I think, my opinion, Clark, my opinion is people who are going to try to derail that train. Whatever they can, there's people out there, I don't care to what heights they'll go to, or what lows, I should say, what lows they will go to try to derail what Kirby Smart's building in Athens. And I just think that's something that's going to be the new norm for a while now. Well, and that's my opinion.
Yeah, and that happens, I would say that happens more often than not with these successful teams. I mean, you look at Florida. I mean, there have been some very successful 1-2 year teams, and there's smear campaigns essentially. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening now, but don't be shocked if that starts happening in the future. And I think we're going to get everybody's best shot. We've gotten everybody's best shot the past 2 years, but this year especially on the gridiron, I should say, we're going to get everybody's best shot. People are going to be coming after us pretty hard. These teams in the East especially, I think, are, they want a piece of Georgia now. And I love it. Come on, bring it on.
Yes, sir. Jim Harbaugh implemented a beat Georgia period in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Not a beat Ohio State period, a beat Georgia period.
And we've played Michigan once in the past 50 years or something.
Why did Jim Harbaugh not incorporate that in December 2021 when we played them in the Orange Bowl? He should have had a beat Georgia period then. It didn't look like he had one then. So, I mean, that's just the level of it. It's not even like it's Florida or Tennessee or, Auburn or anybody like Maine, Georgia, rival, like beat Georgia, the fan base. No, it is a team, a blue blood from the Big Ten, Michigan.
Who's not even on our schedule.
Exactly. Not even on our schedule, who is putting that much focus and emphasis on what Georgia does, man. Yeah. And I think college football as a whole is going to get away from the sexy, flashy, high-scoring, high-powered offense. Now, they're not going to get, obviously, you got to score points and win, but people are realizing, hey, we got to have a defense because Georgia's got an offense. But what really has got them there, the heart and the core of it all, is a freaking strong defense that they got, man. And they're like, we have to build our teams like what Georgia has down there. So that's why you see these people desperately trying to utilize the portal, the recruiting trail as much as they can to get defensive talent in, Clark, that where they can even stay on the same field when it comes to you've already gone through 13 games and you're playing them 2 games in the playoffs, and that depth's got to kick in, man. And Georgia's got it, and Georgia's got the guys. And also, Clark, what Kirby Smart does, he goes out there and he gets guys. He just uses a general common sense rule. We're going to get big guys, and we're going to get big guys so we can train up the right technique for it. We're just going to bully you over the field on both sides of the football, Clark. And I think people are trying to get to that. They've seen that blueprint laid now. Alabama's trying to get back to it, trying to, with Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator, trying to get that hard-nosed, like 2009, 2015, 17 defense that they used to play in Tuscaloosa. That's trying to come back, man. So, I think that's what we're going to see, a lot of people trying to play copycat do it, but I don't think people could do it to the standard that Kirby Smart can, man. Yeah. Yes, I have on red and black Homer glasses. We are a Homer podcast.
Absolutely.
But that's just it. And that's what I've noticed, too, this offseason. And I love it. I love it that Georgia is the standard. Georgia is the pinnacle. Georgia is what everybody's chasing. Like you said, Clark, when we go to games this fall and you go to opposing stadiums, it's going to be the game everybody wants to go to. What everybody's asking their brother-in-law or their uncle or their friend, hey, man, you got any extra Georgia tickets? I really want to be there. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, I want to say I was there when we beat Georgia. And or I want my kid to say I was there when we beat Georgia. That's how it's going to be, man. And that's how it's going to be. And now it's gotten to the point where if you beat Georgia, you remember that game for the rest of your life. If you're a team or an opposing fan of that team, that's where it's at. And the difference is now with Georgia is we're not going to remember that game as much. I mean, people like us will remember.
We'll remember,
but it won't stand out like it will. If so, that's kind of the feel of it now. Is I don't think Georgia's flying under the radar like they were last summer. Roundabout way getting back to it, because I still think the disrespect was there last summer. If it was a one-time thing, the whole, if Mechie and Williams didn't get hurt, they would have, Alabama would have won again. They got that one. Good job. Finally, it's going to be another 40 years until you win the next one. Then boom, 15-0 perfection. Yeah. And you're doing a rebuilding year.
Right. And to cap it off with a 65-7 win in the national championship game.
Man.
It's almost like Georgia can do no wrong at this point. That's the feeling.
You dang right, baby.
I want to believe that.
Yeah, we want to believe it.
And it's weird because last year, I said we would repeat. I did say that August 10th, I believe, 2022, and you called it the year before that. Adam, I don't know about this year, and I'm not saying. We should definitely make it to Atlanta, and we should definitely make it to the playoff. But I don't know. I've got this weird feeling that we're not going to three-peat.
No,
obviously, I want that to happen.
Right, right. I get it.
I got this sick feeling, and I think it's because of these expectations are so stinking high, and it's not from just the outside media. It's from people inside the state of Georgia like us who really, we have on red and black glasses, absolutely. But at the same time, we can see objectively Georgia's got a good football team, right?
You're right.
I mean, take the bias side. Georgia has a phenomenal team this year, lots of talent, unproven in some positions still. A few question marks, I'd say, but man, there should be no excuse to not make it to the playoff at least.
I think that where you think about, because nobody has done it since we said in the AP poll history, and that's been what now, roughly 83 years.
Right.
So that's what just tells you it's so hard to win a national championship. It's so hard to win 2 national championships. It's about dang impossible, honestly, to win 3 in a row. And especially in today's age of college football where you have 15 games you got to go through, man. And you think about last year, the kind of the mid-season where Georgia didn't look as good. Obviously, the game you point at is in Columbia, Missouri. Where's that game going to be at this year? That's something we'll dive into later and talk about on a future episode before the season kicks off. But then you go back to, man, it's not wishful thinking that we want it to happen again. You look at the roster and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're better in this position group, that position group. All these guys are coming back another year under their belt. Why not? Why shouldn't we? And we're going to see how big of a loss is Stetson Bennett. Obviously huge. How big of a loss is Todd Monken? Obviously huge. Both of them were great, but the guys that are in there, we have very confident in them. They could be championship coordinators and quarterbacks as well, man. So that's going to be the questions that we're going to get to see answered, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it.
We'll get more into that conversation later, maybe in a totally different episode, but we're going to move on, Adam, to some news, things that have happened since the last recording of Row 60, our 50th episode. A lot has kind of happened since then. Next year's schedule was released.
Yep.
And boy,
brutal.
It's brutal. 2024.
You want to go ahead and call 4 in a row?
No. I'm not even confident enough right now to call 3 in a row.
That's right.
But next year's schedule, y'all, if you haven't seen it, wow, it's going to be challenging. Obviously, we've got a whole season of Georgia football right ahead of us.
Yeah.
And we don't want to look too far ahead in the future. But, Adam, give me a little bit of your thoughts, your feelings for next year's schedule. How do you like the whole divisionless SEC?
It's going to be weird. I'm a traditionalist, Clark. I don't like it. I didn't like when A&M and Missouri joined. Just tell you that, because I liked how it used to be just the 12 teams. You played 3 West opponents, 1 permanent was Auburn, and then you had 2 rotating. So you would play every West opponent at their place every 5 years.
Yep.
And I like that. That was a simple format. But hey, progress is going to happen. Unfortunately, I'm not a big progress fan at anything in life, to be honest with you. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. But what's going to happen? It will be exciting though. It'll be something different. You're going to play a lot of teams that you don't play as often. Obviously, new ones with Oklahoma and Texas, man. And it's going to be weird. Like South Carolina not being on the schedule. That's going to be interesting.
Weird.
And then the following year, Tennessee won't be. So, it's going to feel different. But looking at that schedule, I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun football. You're going to play Clemson out in the out-of-conference, open up the year in Mercedes-Benz, and then going to Texas, going to Alabama, man. It's exciting for the fans, and maybe, it'll be something that I just – you hope the popularity of this sport continues, and with the NIL stuff, with everything that the almighty dollar doesn't just ruin what a great thing it's been all our lives. But I kind of think, man, this spark might kind of that with the new schedule might kind of create a little bit of a spark and even pique even more interest, And it'll never be to the level of the NFL nationally now. Nationally, obviously in our region and where we live at, it's way bigger. But nationally, it won't. But I still think it's going to be very competitive and good. And only games like Georgia playing in Austin, Texas, or Alabama playing in Norman, Oklahoma is going to help that. Or Oklahoma going to LSU on a Saturday night, the same day Alabama's playing at Georgia, or stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of good football, man. Yeah. So I'm excited. Bring it on, man. It's like I don't get scared of schedules at all anymore as a Georgia fan because Georgia could beat anybody anywhere. But
and we could potentially get beat, but it's harder for us to get beat.
And with the playoff coming that year, you can lose 2 regular season football games, which is unheard of, and still make the college football playoff back. Previous format, of course, the one we're still on for this year. But in the upcoming years, man, you could slip in there and you could lose 2 games. And then, Clark, you go through that schedule, you lose 2 games, you could be going middle of December playing in Happy Valley at Penn State. a very cold December day, or Ohio State, stuff like that. I mean, another big time college football environment on the road for a playoff game is going to be wild. So yeah, a lot of great experiences, man. A lot of great experiences. So bring it on. Can't wait to talk about it when the time comes, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're both traditionalists, but my buddy McKay, he brought up a good point to me. He said, how many people really, really care about Georgia versus Vandy? Obviously, we do.
Yeah.
And I mean, the diehards do. The few, the 27 Vanderbilt fans, they, I'm sure, get into it. But the casual fans, and it really is. I think it's a big money move, obviously, to keep this sport going and to just raise more funds, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, in the future, it will be way more entertaining. I'm looking forward to it. It's taken me a little while to warm up to it, but I'm ready.
It's all about the money, man, and folks like me and you, we ain't going to change it one way or another. So either you just quit watching or you embrace it. So we're going to embrace it, baby.
We don't have the money to change anything.
Yeah, no, we don't.
We might could start a little petition, go to door.
Why not?
Yeah, one day.
Why not?
Bring back the BCS.
Bring back the BCS. The BCS really was a good system.
It had a bad, it got a bad rap.
It had a bad rap, but it would be that though everybody says the current system's bad. You need to go because there's going to be with this new playoff. There's going to be we need to go to X number of teams after this. Yeah. And then, so everybody just can't be content with where we're at, man. But I do think this new playoff will be exciting, and I'm excited to see there's going to be more SEC teams in it, and it'll be good. It'll be good. But dang, has the 14 college football playoff era been good at the University of Georgia, man?
Sure
it's been a fun ride, and
not over yet.
It's not over yet. That's right. Still got one more year of it here in 2023. So can't wait.
Oh yeah. Dylan Raiola committed to Georgia. That was big news. I mean, obviously some of this is old, but man, that's big. I'm really excited about this kid. I watched his highlight film, and he's coming to Buford this upcoming.
That's wild,
not this upcoming year. Sorry, next season, right?
I don't have a clue. I think it's this year.
Or this year?
Yeah.
I think
it's this year. Of course it's this year. This is a senior year.
This is a senior year.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely, man. He's coming, and it's going to be that's cool. He's going to move to Arizona, Georgia, and I think, talking to some folks that it should be that he helps with the recruiting. Helps with the recruiting of some of those Buford kids, man. And I think just nationally, all the players and maybe some receiver talent and stuff, man, that could be potentially coming to play with him is very exciting. Very exciting. So I think seems like he's a hard Georgia lock, man. So I'm excited to see him. I think he's going to be the most special talent arriving to campus that we've seen.
More so than Justin Fields?
More so than Justin Fields.
Wow.
Yeah, I think personally.
Yeah,
maybe not.
I guess
thinks that,
I don't know if he's as mobile as Justin Fields. But boy, my gosh, he's got a cannon. I mean, he's a bona fide pocket passer.
He showed out the Elite 11. He looked every bit of why he's the number one quarterback in the nation in this class.
And I think with Bobo coaching him and really, and that's the great thing of him coming to Georgia. I mean, he can start to work with Dylan and have that relationship. And with Kirby, I mean, you need that.
And exactly, Clark. Mike Bobo too has he's got Matt Stafford, Super Bowl number one NFL draft pick, Super Bowl champion, man, that had a long career in the league that he recruited and coached at Georgia for 3 years. And you got Aaron Murray, who was at one time or still is the all-time leading passer in the SEC. I think that's been broke since. I don't know. I have to fact check that. I do not know. But anyway, you got Aaron Murray, who's a great talent, and he's coached a lot of guys and done a lot of good stuff with quarterbacks, man. And one thing that sticks out to me is I think that Raiola is very strong on Bobo. That when the staff went to see him the day after the national championship, when they left Los Angeles, went to Arizona, and there was a interview with Raiola later on because that's when all the Monken rumors were starting to swirl. Then they probably wasn't going to be back, that kind of thing, but nothing was official. He said that he felt very good about the plan that he heard from that staff of who was going to be in place. And obviously all signs indicated they taught that Mike Bobo will be his offensive coordinator. And that's who he committed to and he feels good about and he should feel good about. And
absolutely.
I think they're going to have a good run and it's just it's a stacked quarterback room already. We've talked about it. We'll continue to talk about it, man. And he's just another great piece to fit in there that's going to compete. And I think going to be the guy. I think he's going to be the guy. We'll get to that eventually. Eventually. I don't know what's going to shape out. Of course, it's like true freshman. freshman year or anything like that. I don't imagine them, but I just think he's going to be good, and I think he's going to be a good ambassador for Georgia. I think he's going to bring a lot of talent to Athens, man. And another thing is I think you're going to see a lot more elite level recruiting at the wide receiver position.
We need it.
Having Brian McClendon as a receiver coach, who God bless him, Cortez Hankton did some good things in Athens. I feel like won a national championship while he was here, but was not the best recruiter. Was not the best recruiter. So I think having Brian McClendon, who is an elite level recruiter, will up that a little bit. Okay. Sorry, knocked on the desk and got my dog barking. Yeah, always ready for the season.
One day we'll get us a studio at. But hey, the dog that's barking that y'all can hear is Dolly, and Dolly has been here almost every single show.
Row 60.
Yep,
but
she is loyal to
that was my bad. My bad.
No, you're good.
She would have been good if I hadn't got excited and beat on the old wooden table.
There's a little passion coming through. I like it,
coming through in July, baby.
Yep. Okay, and then last bit of news, Adam, and this ought to be interesting because I know you've got some strong feelings and opinions.
I see your notes now.
Yep. Last week as in last week for us recording this, the AJC, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, they wrote pretty much a hit piece on the Georgia football program and Kirby Smart's leadership. Adam, it's borderline slander, some of the stuff they're saying, and it's kind of been an ongoing issue for years, probably even before Kirby got here. I'm sure with Rick, they probably wrote some stuff too. What are your thoughts on this? And should we kind of explain maybe what it was about, or do you think we should skip that?
I think because we're a family-friendly show, and the interwebs, you could find what you want on there, that you can type in the AJC Georgia Kirby Smart stories, and most people listening to this, if you're listening to this, have already heard it.
Yeah.
So, but I just always keeping in mind respectful of parents with young children on their car ride, going to places, maybe going on vacation right now, and listening to this. Do not want to get into the details of some of these articles that are wrote and the topics that are mentioned. You could do your own homework on that. But Clark, my opinion on it is, let me just start this off by, I took a Grady class.
You took a Grady class, Adam?
I took a class at Grady.
Serious?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
One singular class.
Adam, that's impressive.
So you might as well call me Louis Grizzard, Clark.
I will.
My journalistic prowess.
Oh, good.
Adam. So, I learned what my fellow colleagues out there in the journalism world, because I took a singular Grady class.
Right.
So I know the proper etiquette.
Okay.
Let me tell you what. My professor at Grady, Clark, she didn't. This is ridiculous. This is poor journalism. This is not investigative journalism, Clark. You got to lay out the facts, brother. You got to come out there and you got to get the facts. You got to lay it out. You got to lay it out. You know what? I do not think there is enough evidence of the accusations that are being made by these guys. And I'm not even going to call these guys' names because, Clark, we're going to be bigger people than that. Yep. But, hey, we're a Georgia podcast that's run by fans and common people, so we can say it.
That's right.
We can say it. Yeah. Other people who make a living as real journalists, even though I did take a class at Grady for my agriculture degree, I'm in there. I'm still going to say what needs to be said, Clark.
Absolutely, you should.
It's BS. It's bullcrap. It is bullcrap what these guys are doing, and it is honestly whatever personal vendetta these guys have against Georgia football and Kirby Smart, man. And I'll be honest with you, Clark. I'll be honest with you. Going back to it, there are people out there who are such Mark Richt loyalists and were so tore up that he was fired in 2015 and could not get on board with Kirby Smart, hate seeing the success of Georgia football now. You look at me that way, but I promise you they're out there. I promise you there are people out there who still can't get over that and still would want to see Georgia fail just to say that Mark Richt was better. And I don't understand why people can't love both of them like we do, because we love both of them, and both of them are legendary, and both of them did great things for the University of Georgia. There's no need to compare the two or anything or what happened during that point in time. That's neither here nor there. That's beating a dead horse. We've took a baseball bat and we beat that horse several thousand times. Yep. So the thing about it is, Clark, is these people it's truly just poor journalism, man. I truly believe that, in the fact that it is honestly personal vendettas and getting to the point where it is losing credibility. And I hope that's what it does is lose credibility completely. Now, we're doing them a favor by saying, go look it up, because we're giving them clicks. That's what they want. But after this, once you know the facts, and once you know that this is just poor journalism. Do not give them a click.
Yeah.
Do not. If you subscribe to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, if you're a man or a woman out there who still loves the old paper boy to come by and give you and hit your door with an Atlanta Journal-Constitution rolled up, as he drives by, rings the bell on his bike, and goes away. Then you know what, Clark? Go subscribe to the Atlanta Daily News.
Is that a newspaper?
I don't know any other paper in Atlanta. And if you're in, like us in rural Georgia, get your local paper.
Yeah,
support the local people. See what's happening at the community theater.
Screw the AJC.
See who's playing. See who is playing baseball in the little league fields next day. I mean, the world don't need to look at these new news of what's happening all over the world. That's depressing, man. We need just good, wholesome stuff to lift us up. So, and I don't know, just from that, I just feel like that it is something that what we talked about earlier, one thing, and then I want to hear your thoughts, is I feel like it is back to the point where people have seen the success of Georgia and want to try to stop it. Want to try to stop it, and will go to whatever means necessary doing it. And if they have the power of the pen, the power of the typewriter, they're going to do it, man. And I don't know the guys that are doing it. Like I said, we're not going to call them out by name on there. A lot of people have already heard it. They've read the stories. It says up there, and it's got a picture of the old boys in their suits and ties, giving a little sideways profile smile. One of these numbers right here, Clark. And kind of from the side. And you get one of them numbers when you look at the headline of the story and whatnot, and it's just ridiculous stuff, and it ticks me off. My blood was just boiling when I read it.
Well,
and I don't know.
Two things can be true at the same time, Adam. And I think, you can do investigative research and journalism and try to find facts, but it just doesn't seem like all the facts are there, and they're trying to draw these conclusions that just don't exist, and they're putting primarily the blame on Kirby Smart and Bryant Gant, not Brian Gant. And this just goes to show they don't know what they're talking about. Right. Bryant Gant is his name with a T. They spelled it Brian Gant. I just thought that was stupid of them. But, I think they're overly critical with Kirby. Obviously, there's some problems on this team. I mean, there have been. We're not going to totally say it's been sunshines and rainbows for the past few months.
No, absolutely.
We're not saying that.
No.
But at the same time, like I said, it seems like they're trying to make something out of nothing in some circumstances. So
there's stuff that can be reported and you move on, not just keep trying to dig.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, some stuff that shouldn't even be reported. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't know, man. I tell you what, I miss the days of Louis Grizzard. I'm a huge Louis Grizzard fan. He wrote for the AJC, man, but his columns wouldn't be about this junk. It would be about standing in the stadium in Columbia, South Carolina, Clark, in the early 80s, probably about 1983, 1984, and watching Georgia get pounded by South Carolina, man. And he writes about this guy. He paints you the picture of where it would have been like to be in the stadium that day, of this guy yelling, "Where's our defense at?" And then another guy yelling, "It's on the sideline in Statesboro right now," referring to Earl Russell. I mean, that's the stuff I want to hear. I want to hear this. I want to hear an article come out read about a letter to his son, if you had one, about the experience, the almost just spiritual experience he felt watching Kevin Butler beat Clemson on a field goal in 1984, and he can list from what he ate at the tailgate on throughout the rest of the day what that experience was like. Diehard fans want to experience that. Why has there not been a writer out there experience what it was like in Indianapolis, Indiana, watching Georgia fans, generations hugging, crying, and just the joy that it brought for families seeing Georgia win a national championship, man. Yeah. Well, where's that at? Yeah, where's that at, Clark?
I think you're hitting on a bigger thing here too. Just in general, I think our media is incredibly negative. And yes, I think there does need to be investigating with some things. But at the same time, like I said earlier, I think media outlets, obviously, I mean, they're getting people to click on their websites. That's the main reason they write. They want people clicking on their websites, buying their newspaper and that kind of thing, and advertising in their column. So, I'm sick of the AJC. I've read enough to solely cut them out of anything else I read in the future. I just don't care what they have to say anymore. If it's true, these allegations and things, that needs to be taken care of. But that's not something that you need to diagnose, or you feel you should be the one telling us and who's wrong and who. No, that's not your job.
Stake out and get, and just shallow.
You are creeps,
stuff, man.
You're creeps.
Shallow stuff, just shallow. I mean, in the freaking shallow end of the pool, kiddie pool type shallow.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Up. I mean, not even near the deep end, much less like the ocean or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, just ridiculous stuff, man. Ridiculous stuff. So I will close by saying this. Guys, if you get your news from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution for Georgia football, there are plenty of other media websites out there as far as like breaking news that you could go to get it. We're not one of them. We do not break any news because we have no contacts to have any breaking news to share to you. But maybe one day, but we will be the ones to come to of just analysts about stuff like this from just regular common folks. Find another one, man, and just don't read it right now because I'm to the point of that. I hate saying that, but it's just got to the point now as a true Georgia fan that me and you are, Clark. How can you not feel this way?
Yeah.
How can you not feel this way? It's ridiculous, and it needs to stop. And I think one way you do that is you speak with your mouse and your index finger. You don't click.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I like it.
Dang right. Anyway,
I did not know where you were going with that, but makes sense. Oh man! All right, enough of that. I think
enough of that. We're rambled on about. I don't even
give them any more attention.
Ramble. Just kind of rambled there. I hope I didn't say anything too stupid.
No.
All right. Anywho, but I did take a class at Grady.
You did.
So I did take a singular Grady class in there. So that is where my proper etiquette and pronunciation and vocabulary comes from.
Yeah. Let me ask you what class at Grady did you take?
I don't even remember what it was. I was so out. I was like a fish out of water out of there, because I was, of course, a agriculture communications major, and I just had to get one of them classes in. But there was a lot of people in there who looked like they were going to be good journalists for America.
Yeah.
I was not one of them. So I don't even remember what the class was about. I just know we talked about some investigative. We talked about some proper etiquette, and I asked a few questions about what we need to do in certain scenarios when we were hot on the trail of a new story, and kind of how to approach it, how to get the answers that you want to get out of folks.
The right answers,
the right answers in a honest way. Clark, is the approach I wanted to take of it in a way of integrity, So anyway, I know. So needless to say, I know the quality of journalists that are being pumped out of Grady College because I was in the.
You were one of them, man.
What's the word? I was in the
cohort.
I was in the arena with them.
Arena.
I was in the arena with them. I saw the work that they put in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
It just needed to be noted.
Yeah. That's impressive. Not many people on this earth can say that they've taken a Grady class. I didn't. Yeah. Or maybe I did. Anyway. Anywho. All right, moving on. SEC Media Days, Adam. And this is kind of the official starting point of college football season for us.
The unofficial official time for college football to kick off is in front of a microphone, baby.
And is it our microphones or their microphones? Coaches.
Ours.
I like it. Listen, the start of college football season is here on row 60. And then
you dang right.
SEC Media Days
go with it
second. But all right. Yes, SEC Media Days coming up this year in Nashville. That's interesting. Not Birmingham, as in years past, but in Nashville. Or in Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta last year. Monday, July 17th. Here are the teams. Here are the coaches you're going to be able to see. LSU, Brian Kelly. Missouri's Eli Drinkwitz. Texas A&M's Jimbo Fisher. I don't like it. I don't like any one of those guys.
I don't either.
So not going to be, probably going to skip that day, to be quite honest.
Then I'm going to watch it because Eli Drinkwitz is going to say something just stupid, like make an analogy about something like I would do, but in front of a way larger audience and in a more prestigious spot, and just make an idiot out of himself. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Then I may have to watch it if I'm going to watch it that way. That's a good way to watch it.
Jimbo's going to be good, too. He's going to talk very, very fast and avoid as much questions as possible. Talk about, how they've improved this year.
Sure.
And, so that's going to be good. It's going to be good.
The next day, Tuesday, July 18th, we need to all tune in this day. I guess SEC Network will host this. Auburn's Hugh Freeze. We're not going to.
Brother Hugh?
Reverend Hugh. Yeah, Reverend. Yeah, Reverend Hugh.
Coming to the mic? Yeah. How are we so blessed and fortunate to get the day started with a good Hugh Freeze life talk?
Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, God, it's going to be awesome.
How fulfilling.
Then up next is Adam, a guy that you equated to Gandhi last year.
Yeah.
Kirby Paul Smart.
Absolutely.
And the Georgia Bulldogs. I wonder who we're going to be taking this year to SEC Media Days.
I don't know. That will be interesting. But I'm excited to hear Kirby Paul address the nation and really give a good State of the Union of Georgia football.
Oh, I like it.
And really just give out some just good, just theological, just stuff, motivational stuff. Yeah, it's like Gandhi-like stuff.
It is.
Gandhi-like stuff is going to be, I just feel like Kirby Smart constantly just pumps out quotes that you see when you walk in the hallways of doctor's offices when you got like a good like portrait of nature, like with a cloud and sunshine beaming down. And then you have the bold italicized font of Kirby Smart's quote.
Yeah. And then dash Kirby Smart.
Dash Kirby Smart.
Oh, I love it.
Attack the day.
Attack the day.
Boom,
you're either elite or you're not.
And then just a picture of sunshine and a butterfly.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to write out the whole boom quote, right? Just boom. Just boom. Oh, my gosh. All right, Mississippi State's Zach Arnett. And, man, I'm excited. But at the same time, man, it's going to be sad this year not seeing Mike Leach up there. God rest his soul.
That's right.
I just, man.
We'll talk about it later on, man, but I'm excited to see what Arnett does to that Mississippi State team, man. I'm really pulling for him.
Yeah. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
And then Vanderbilt's Clark Lee.
God, look at Clark. Hometown.
Yeah.
Hometown.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Vandy people will be out in droves.
Oh, I'm sure.
Media road. I mean,
they're
Clark's
golden black.
Gonna come in, and the Vandy faithful probably go get a good tunnel for him. Like, hands together, tunnel waving, spirit figures waving as Clark comes in to address about Vanderbilt football, baby. Yeah. I mean, riding high. I mean, in all seriousness, over expectations last year. So
it's 5 and 7.
Clark
over exceeding.
For Vanderbilt, yes. 100%. There's no doubt. Clark Lee has done work.
Oh, my gosh.
Wonder there at Vanderbilt.
I kind of like Clark Lee, honestly. I like his name.
I like it. That's true. I like Clark. He's just a good bald guy out there.
Yeah.
Just when a good bald guy just embraces his baldness.
Right.
Because, I'm having to get to that point because my hairline just keeps receding and going backwards. And I know it's coming one day. And, and there's a mental state you got to get to that point to rock it and just embrace it. Yeah. And Clark's there, man.
Yeah.
Clark, he's a younger guy. Clark's a younger guy. He's there. He's there and pulls it off and, good confident swagger with old Clark, I feel like. And, excited to see what the Doors do in Nashville. But, there's going to be a big Vandy following that day, really getting fired up.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday, July 19th, we got Nick Saban, Sam Pittman, Billy Napier, and Bob Stoops.
Bob Stoops?
Oh, did I say Bob? I knew that wasn't right.
Who's Bob Stoops coaching?
Mark
Big
Stoops.
Game Bob decided he was coming back to the collegiate
level. Now, wouldn't that be interesting if Bob and Mark? What if they teamed up? And
Bob done won him a title in the XFL.
Did he really? Yeah, With who? What team?
I don't know. I can't remember. Some team out of Texas, maybe Dallas, like the Renegades or the Stallions or the Mustangs or the Oilers or whatever. Just some Texas Cowboys, some Texas name.
I like it. Yeah, I don't know why I put Bob.
Bandits, something like all of the above. One of them. One of them.
Oh man, wouldn't that be cool though to coach with your brother? I think.
Mike, they had a brother that did it. Both staffs. Mike was the defense coordinator at Oklahoma for years, man. Co-defense coordinator with Brent Venables when he was under Bob Stoops.
Oh, okay.
And Mike Stoops was the defense coordinator that Georgia faced in the Rose Bowl.
That is right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that'll be a pretty fun day with Saban and Pittman. I like Pittman. I'll always pull for him. Can't pull for Billy Napier. And then Billy. Thursday, this is going to be a fun day too. We got Lane Kiffin. It's going to be great. Yeah. Shane Beamer. Nice guy.
Oh, Shane's going to come out with some hideous, ridiculous video that's going to, that
cheesy,
that the marketing team, full of 18 to 20-year-olds are going to think it's the hip thing to do these days, which is the cool thing to do. He's going to get out there and he's going to do some swagger stuff.
Oh gosh, everybody's just going to cringe,
and it's just going to be it's going to be great. It's going to be great. But they're going to come up with some video that will be released in the coming week. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Yep. And then last but not least on that day, Tennessee's Josh Heupel. Yuck. Well. This ought to be a fun time, Adam. I really am looking forward to SEC Media Days this year. Because it seems like, all right, well, let's see here. There's only one. There's only one new coach, and that would be Zach Arnett.
Zach Arnett, yeah.
So, wow. Yeah. Everybody else is either they've been there for years or maybe it's their second year or something like that. So now I want to run through some questions with you, Adam. And this is going to be kind of a little game we play here.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions about your wait, I'm butchering this. Let me just ask some questions.
All right, just ask some questions. Just fire them and I'll respond. And I'll answer with whatever comes first in my head. Okay. Just throw it out there.
All right. Which coach will have the cheesiest quote throughout SEC Media Days?
Oh, man. Clark, I tell you what, I'm going to do one and then you do the other.
Okay.
I'm going to go Shane Beamer.
Ooh. Okay.
And there's another one that's obvious on there, I feel like, and I'll let you.
Yeah, and that would definitely be Eli Drinkwitz.
100%. One of the two is going to be really feeling themselves and think of something that they're going to try to sound like Kirby Smart, and it's just not going to.
It's just not going to quite land.
Eli's already thrown a big one out there at Daytona for the spring meetings.
Oh yeah,
when he talked about the pediatrician salary and all that stuff. I mean, just something
weird.
That'll be. I don't know. Maybe Eli will be on. Kind of have the mute button a little bit. Kind of be a little light lip from doing that. But Shane will definitely be feeling himself.
Okay.
Shane 100% will be feeling himself.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you mark my words right now. I would place good money on Shane Beamer. I mean, just saying some outlandish things. I mean, just some outlandish statements and predictions. And really be, I mean, like calling that he's going to beat Clemson 5 years in a row. Just something just out there. I guarantee it. Guarantee it, man.
Well, and Spurrier used to say some outlandish stuff. It'd typically be a shot at Georgia, but
he had everything behind him that could back it up. Not just a win against Tennessee and Clemson.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So,
which coach will have the longest opening remarks?
Oh, 100% Jimbo Fisher, because he wants to eat up as much time as he can before being drilled with questions. And I mean, it will go 110 miles an hour, 20-minute opening speech.
Wow.
Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo, okay. Yeah. Adam, I think I'm going to go with this one's tough. I'm going to go with Clark Lee, and I think Clark Lee last year.
Really?
He had the longest.
Okay.
I think.
All right. So you're giving actually like data, like facts, numbers.
Okay. I'm pretty sure last year Clark Lee, it was between him and somebody else. Maybe Shane Beamer gave a really long one too. Yeah. I don't remember, but I'm going to go with Clark Lee.
Okay.
I think he's going to have a lot to talk about from this past season, and kind of creating momentum last season, and how they're going to take it into this season, and they're going to make a bowl game, and
yeah.
Now the question is, will Clark Lee mention anything about a national championship in his SEC Media Day?
Will he say that Vanderbilt? Will he reiterate and drive home the point that Vanderbilt is the most up and coming program in college football?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Like he did last year.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
After coming off last year, beating Florida, and beating who else they beat? Kentucky, winning a couple of SEC games. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That is signs of progress. They are indeed coming to be the top of the SEC. So indeed, I think he will double down. Double down on it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
They should have never fired James Franklin. Did they fire James Franklin, or did
James
Franklin just go? No, I know he went. I know he went to Penn State.
He upped and left. Went to Penn State, man. I mean, he was winning 10 games there, man.
Yeah. That's impressive, honestly.
Oh yeah. It was. I mean, he won like 9 games, then 10 games, like 2 years in a row.
It's impressive. They beat Georgia.
He did.
No,
Derek Mason did too.
Yuck. Okay, and this question kind of ties into the last. Which coach will set the most unrealistic expectations for his team this season at SEC Media Days?
Dang, that's good, Clark. Probably, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to go Shane Beamer again.
You stole mine. Shane Beamer was mine for sure.
Shane Beamer was yours.
Yeah. And not saying Carolina is not going to be good. I think they'll win some games. They definitely will. They showed some signs of life there towards the end. I mean, with that big stomping of Tennessee, which was awesome. I don't know if they can replicate that same kind of success this year. I don't know. We'll see, though.
Right.
We'll see.
I tell you, can I add just one more question?
Sure.
Who are you the most excited to see outside of Kirby?
I think Hugh Freeze.
Yes, you got mine. You got mine.
Yeah.
Brother Hugh.
Reverend Hugh.
Reverend. What are you the most excited about with Hugh, with the Reverend?
It's really the question. I don't care about his opening remarks. I don't care what he has to say at the beginning. I want to see there's always one or two questions that kind of, for each coach, I feel like, that shouldn't be asked. And I think there's going to be something brought up about Brother Hugh's past.
And that rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I think Brother Hugh's going to share some passage with us.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah. We shouldn't be laughing about this.
No. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
But anyway,
it might be this might be some good bonus content later on.
But I think he's going to be he's going to share some. I think there will be some type of inspirational story of a second chance.
Yes, kind of like the prodigal son.
Yes, I think that could be a possibility that could be brought up. And I think about having a second chance, even though this is like the 8th chance that the Reverend's got. What a perfect fit though. Hugh Freeze in Auburn football. But anyway, anyway, that's fine.
Oh my gosh. All right. Which coach will be the most awkward in front of the media?
I'm going Lane Kiffin, Clark. I know he he tweets out and says this stuff, but I think every time he gets in the podium, he looks down and he just kind of mumbles and you can't understand what he's saying. Right. He just kind of does this number, where he's looking around like. It's kind of got an awkward feel to me. Mm-hmm. I know that's just the first thing that popped in my head. Yeah. Maybe that's not a good answer, but.
I'm going to go with, this one's tough. I'm going to go with Brian Kelly. I think he's just an awkward guy.
That's a good one.
Weird.
That's a good one.
Brian Kelly's going to say something stupid for sure as well. Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Which coach will mention Georgia the most in their speech or in answering questions?
Oh, Nick Saban.
Ooh, yeah.
Because he'll be asked about Georgia the most. I think anyway.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but that obviously makes sense. I want to go with, you know what? I'm going to go with Josh Heupel. I think there's going to be a lot of questions surrounding kind of his team at the end of the season. Do they have enough depth to, especially defensively, do they have enough depth to hang with a team like Georgia in at the end of the season? I don't know if he'll get that specific question. Right, but you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
I think it's going to be Josh Heupel.
Yeah.
So over under 4.5, the amount of questions Kirby will get about his team having a target on its back this season.
And he'll go right. Start off answer. I'm going to go over, and I'll go over with the amount of times that he will mention that this is not last year's team or the team before last, and they have to earn it. That he's already told the guys that this is not they haven't earned anything yet. That's it. That they haven't done anything. They have not earned. They haven't done anything yet.
Right.
They said that this team has not done anything yet.
Well, they have like a saying, eat off the floor or something. Kirby's been mentioning that, the play he wants to get. Kirby wants his players to have the mindset of we are so poor, we're so pitiful. Look at Georgia, we have nothing. We got to eat off the floor kind of mentality. That's good.
That's good. I like it.
And that's a good thing about like the media and everything. Everybody's going to be hyping up Kirby.
Right.
I don't know though. This could be an interesting. This could be a very interesting SEC media day for Kirby. With the AJC stuff, with some of the problems,
that's going to be interesting too.
I think that's going to be kind of the main headline stuff.
Without a doubt.
For this,
without a doubt.
I don't know.
Without a doubt.
Any more questions? Can you think of anything?
I don't, man. I don't. It's going to be interesting to look forward to it every year, watch every one of them every year. And, I'm excited to break it down after we see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we will we'll have an episode, I'm sure, after SEC Media Days, kind of wrapping that up and reviewing some of these quotes. So be on the lookout for all this stuff and those coaches. Once again, Kirby, that's the only one we should really be focusing on. Tuesday, July 18th. I don't know exactly what time it goes on, but I would imagine it's probably sometime earlier in the morning, probably around lunch. So just ask your boss if you can take an earlier lunch or something.
It's a national holiday. Kirby Smart speaks.
Yeah. We tried to get media passes at them.
We did. We really did try to, but they did not let us on Media Row.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. Why would they not? Can you imagine me and you just going down Media Row in Nashville? It would be great.
Oh, my gosh.
It would be great.
Fun.
And then if we landed somebody to come to our table and interview the Row 60.
Could you imagine
Like
getting Kirby Paul Smart to sit down with
and
us.
Nick Saban.
And Shane Beamer. What if
Shane?
I think Shane would be the okay. Here's a question for you. Out of those coaches, assuming we could get them on the podcast like this right here, which coach outside of Kirby, which coach would you want on?
Oh, it's easy. It's Sam Pittman.
That's a good answer.
Sam Pittman.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Man.
I would go with Lane.
Okay.
Lane Kiffin would be fun.
And I wouldn't, if I interviewed them, it wouldn't be the stereotypical, are we going to do it again this year, Kirby? Or who do you think, who's looking the best quarterback right now? It would be just off the wall, non-football related stuff.
Non-football stuff. I love that. Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Coming soon on Row 60. First of all, we got to mention this, Adam. This is awesome. Okay. We're starting this. Well, we aren't. Our section 108 in Sanford Stadium is starting this thanks to Jack Goss.
Jack Goss, he texted me with the idea. So,
okay.
I'll give him the credit for
and this is the idea. If Georgia wins a third national championship in a row, we've been challenged.
Yep.
And other people in section 108, close to row 60, we're being challenged to get a three-peat tattoo.
If the Dogs do it, we're all getting a three-peat tattoo, all going and getting it. Jack, we text about this. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me telling everybody that he said that, this just shows that he's been a loyal DGD for many years. He said the Bulldog tattoo that he's got starting to look like a basset handle. So he needs to get it touched up and get a new one. So he said and he brought up the idea. I'm like, I like it. We're going to do it. He said Clark will be on board. We'll get everybody on board. So he doesn't know this yet, but he's probably listening to this right now, getting a good jog in now. But Russell Harrell is in this. He is not committed to it, but Russell Harrell is going to be a part of this. Whether he says yes or no, he's a part of it. So Russell Harrell, as you're listening to this, you don't know it yet, but you're committed to get a three-peat tattoo if Georgia wins a third.
And here's what we'll do. If this happens, y'all, let me ask you this, and I need your word here, Adam, because this is big. You can't be crossing fingers or toes or anything. If Georgia wins a third national championship, are you getting a tattoo?
You do not have a tattoo currently.
Yes, we do not have tattoos. I am deathly afraid of needles. But would you be willing to get a tattoo for Georgia for a three-peat?
Yeah, one on the back or something.
What would it be?
I'd have to study on that.
Okay.
I'd have to study on that. So we're doing it. Jack, this is it. We talked about it. This is it. Russell Harrell, you're in. You're in. Clark, you're in. Everybody's in. Everybody's in. Caitlin's in. Everybody's in.
I will get one. I'll commit to it if Georgia wins. If they win the three-peat. I'm getting the number 3 in as little font as I possibly can on my tail. Yep. I don't want it to be seen. I don't want it to be visible. Just a tiny little number 3.
All right.
That's all I'll do. But I'll do it.
Those details.
And you know what, Adam? We will. We'll invite anybody if you want to join this tattoo challenge. Anybody can come to us.
The bigger thrill would be a video of you looking at the needle.
Oh gosh, I'd pass out.
I mean, this comes from a man who gets his blood drawn and passes out in the doctor's office from a needle.
Yeah, I'm bad. I got white coat syndrome pretty bad. But we'll go live from the tattoo parlor, and anybody who wants to join us can come get.
And
hey, we may get like a bulk discount on the tattoos.
I think we can. My cousin, or not my cousin, my wife's cousin's husband. Did you follow that?
Yeah.
My wife's cousin's husband owns a tattoo parlor, and we can make it happen.
Okay,
we can make it happen.
I like it. Oh man, that's gonna be fun. I kind of. In a way, that will be the only silver lining. If we don't win, I don't have to get a tattoo. So, nothing wrong with tattoos. It's just not my style.
We're committed.
Yeah, we're committed now. We're doing it. And then one more big piece of news we want to mention to everybody. We're going to start, Adam, what we call a Patreon. All right. And some of y'all are probably familiar with that already. We're going to have a Patreon account. And what this is going to allow us to do is create bonus exclusive content, never before seen footage, blooper reels, voting power for future merch. All this stuff will be included in a $5 per month subscription. Now, let me be very, very, very clear. We are not putting the podcast, what you're seeing now, what you're hearing now, behind a paywall. We will never do that. All right. But in order to help us kind of offset some expenses, because this is not free. this takes money to run this show. Not a ton, but it does. And but to have a little cash flow, it'd help us to create more content to give you guys more of an inside look of what we do. And it's just it'll be more fun.
The biggest thing is we want to do more stuff.
Right.
And to justify to our wives and everything, for us to be able to do more stuff, we got to say, hey, look, baby, we made a couple bucks off this stuff.
Yeah.
But no, everything that we are strictly, every single thing we have done the past 2 seasons, and probably even more added to it, will be not behind a paywall.
No.
But there is going to be extra stuff that we want to put out that we're going to have to put behind a little paywall,
but it will be worth it. Trust me,
it'll be worth it. It'll just be extra stuff. It will not be anything. Nothing. The podcast will completely still be the same.
Absolutely. And we want to keep this ad free. We don't want to bug you guys with ads. And we have people that we partner with, and we shout out their products, and that will continue. Yes. Don't think of that as an ad. Just think of that as, and we don't get money from those. It's just a good. We want to shout out our fellow dogs and people in the Georgia football community. So. But to keep this ad-free, truly, this will be a great way that you can support us and in exchange get some really cool stuff. And we'll talk more about that later, but we are going to set a launch date for that on August 4th of this year. That is our birthday, Adam. That's our birthday of Row 60. So that'll be a good day to do it.
Love it, Clark.
Yeah.
Love it. That's awesome. We do got something very exciting coming behind that.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And we polled the Facebook community, and we got a great answer. The Rose Bowl won that poll, Adam. So we'll tell y'all a little bit later.
Sharing plans on that. I love it.
All right, Adam. Next episode, I'm sure, will be coming after SEC Media Days. Y'all stay tuned. Thank y'all for listening. Wrap this thing up, Adam.
Ooh, man, Clark, it's good to be back. It just means football is even closer, man. I'm excited about it. Go out, get it. Oh, hey, I tell you what, when you replace the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Clark, you go get you a Phil Steele preview magazine.
Like
it's the year 2003 again, baby. Go back to it. Go to the old local CVS. Get you just load up with some college football preview magazines, man. When you're by the pool, at night before you go to bed, read up on it. Get excited about football. It is here. It is the best time of year, man. I love talking season, Clark. Love talking season. Love the hype, the build up, and there's so much hype about this Georgia football team, which is warranted because they're going to be pretty dang good. It's going to be another special year, Clark. Cannot wait. A lot of good preview episodes coming, breaking down the team more in depth, more SEC schools in depth, and each episode will be cranking and getting ramped up more and more.
Oh, yeah.
Get closer and closer, Clark. Closer and closer, Clark, to that week where it's a traditional format, Clark.
Yep.
Where it's a traditional format, breaking down our predictions on other games, concession stand reports, Clark's fun facts, and many other things, and I'm excited about it. Y'all have a blessed summer, man. We will be back here shortly with y'all. Excited to be staying in touch with y'all here from now until January, Clark. Constant episodes will be coming out from now on. I'm excited about it. You're excited about it. It's a great time to be a Georgia Bulldog. As always, go Dogs,
go
baby.
Dogs.